Riyadh Air will be the second flag carrier of Saudi Arabia. Today, we are going to talk about how much a pilot can earn from Riyadh Air. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hello again. I am Caner. I am with you with another video. Today we continue talking about pilot salaries in Middle East. As we all know, most pilots in Middle East right now talking about the pilot salary in Riyadh Air. As of late 2023, we don't have any numbers yet in their website because unlike Emirates, they are showing how much they are paying for the new first officer and the captain positions. Today, I would like to analyze the Middle East pilot market and specifically Saudi Arabia. So we will try to come up with a salary range for first officers, captains and instructors. As we all know, Saudi Arabia is changing a lot and developing a lot. For instance, world top football players, they're playing in Saudi Arabia right now. Formula 1 event came to Saudi Arabia. They're going to organize World Cup in 2034. And there are lots of events going on. They're attracting people to come and visit Saudi. They have tourism initiative that has never been there before. And they are adopting rules and laws based on future expansion. They are designing very futuristic cities. That's why Riyadh Air is very important for them. That's a national matter for them. They will make Riyadh Air most probably one of the most successful airline in the history. Riyadh Air introduced themselves to the airline market in a very ambitious way. They said that they want to be the largest airline by revenue in the Middle East. It is really strong statement. They're very ambitious, but is it that easy? Because Emirates and Qatar in this market is very well established, very strong and very good airlines for both passengers and for their employees. So do you think that it will be easy for the Riyadh Air to grow that big, that fast? Middle East is a great point for connecting passengers, right? It's a bridge between East and West. If you want to fly from Australia to Europe, Middle East is a good connectors. And on top of that, airlines like Qatar and Emirates, they are super luxury airlines. They offer really great service and they are safe. They are there for a while, so they establish a good network. As we all know that Qatar Airways is a one-world alliance. On the other hand, Emirates is not a member of any alliances, but Emirates has a good service to all around the world. Plus, they have agreements with other airlines for connecting passengers. So from that perspective, it is not easy to compete with Emirates and Qatar Airways. Of course, there's an Etihad as well. Etihad Airlines is a great airline, but after COVID, they scaled down. I don't think that Riyadh Air will target to compete with Etihad. Let's start with analyzing the current market condition right now in Middle East. So Emirates is a great airline for that because they have every details on their web page, so we can see how much an average Emirates new hire as a first officer or as a captain is making. If you want to compete with a legacy like Emirates or Qatar, you need to offer at least as much as what they offer. You should go beyond, not financially, but some other benefits, so you can attract those skillful, high experience pilots to come and live in Saudi, in Riyadh, and also work for your airlines. Emirates Airline pilot career webpage is a great tool for a comparison. You can see the bar right now. Let's see direct entry captain and we can see what benefits a direct entry captain can get in Emirates Airline. As you can see here, basic salary is $12,000 and accommodation is company provided, and you have education allowance 12 to 20,000 depending on the case, and you have 42 days of annual leave, and also you have first class insurance, life insurance plus medical insurance. Here, as you can see, accommodation is company provided. If you buy something, the company pays you accommodation allowance, but as of now, they give you company villa. Let's see the first officer. First officer rules and requirements are here, but we are more into today to see the total benefits. And when we check the benefits, we can see that the base salary is 8,500 based on flying 85 hours average, and again and again, accommodation is company provided, same education allowance, same annual leave, same additional benefits as captain, and same insurance. So this is a good base, guys, as you can understand, and you can always go back and check my other videos, what's the company accommodation and how much you can get if you buy yourself. You can see the details of the financial videos for Emirates pilots, and I have a bunch of videos on my YouTube channel. You can refer back them and you can understand the details. But today we can roughly say that $12,000 basic and flying hours for captain, let's make it 13, and plus you get $5,000 to $6,000 pro accommodation allowance, so your total package is somewhere reaching around 18,000 to 19,000 US dollar. And on top of that, if you're an instructor, you can expect to have additional $4,000, so your total compensation value will reach somewhere around $22,000 to $23,000. And on top of that, you can have education allowance up to 3 kids. You will get these numbers. This is a great benefit offered by Emirates for their pilots. So do you think that Riyadh Air will offer more or less the same contract? I might say that yes. The important thing, as I always tell, not the exact financial value, how much they will offer, but what kind of side benefits you can get so that you can compete with Emirates. I gave Emirates example specifically because right now Qatar is a little bit lagging when it comes to payments and total benefits, because Qatar has faced many challenges. They had overflight problems, then COVID hit, and now they have changed their leadership. So I think that Qatar Airways pilots will be also getting lots of improvements on their contracts. But right now Emirates is paying more and offering better conditions than the Qatar. Therefore Emirates is setting the bar. So it is now Riyadh Air's call to set the bar up for pilots or stay in the same level and try to compete. I must say that as a new airline, Riyadh Air shouldn't be gambling, right? They need to hire pilots with a better contract so that they can attract those Middle Eastern pilots, because most Middle Eastern pilots, they're expats. They don't have enough workforce in their own country so that they hire pilots all around the world. It is same for Qatar, it is same for UAE. Most probably, initially, it's gonna be the same for Riyadh Air as well. But don't forget, Saudi Arabia is the biggest country, biggest economy in that region, in Middle East. Because Saudi Arabia has a huge population compared to other countries. As of latest data, I see that their population is around 37 million. There are lots of local workforce in Saudi Arabia than compared to other countries. This is a great thing because there are lots of Saudi Arabian young pilots right now are taking their training in other countries. So in the next 10, 20, 30 years perspective, they can employ more pilots from their own country than the expats. This is very normal. But since Qatar and UAE, their population is too little, it will take longer for them to have more Emiratis in workforce than the Saudi, because Saudi's population is already a lot. There will be more Saudi pilots. So we can expect at the beginning there are more expats in Riyadh Air, and they will have more and more locals in the next 10, 20, 30 year perspective. Therefore, initially, I can expect that they will have the same package as Emirates, minimum. But what I expect at the same time, if you ask this question to 100 pilots, would you like to live in Dubai versus would you like to live in Riyadh? So most people will choose Dubai, right? For various reasons. Because Dubai is very well established. Dubai is not as strict as Qatar or as strict as Saudi. Therefore, people tend to live there because they can live in a way that they are living in Europe compared to Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Therefore, before Saudi in the last 2-3 years are establishing really nice rules so that they are trying to attract more people to come and visit Saudi, which I really like it, so that they have a vision. So based on this vision, we can expect that they will try to attract pilots to live there. But initially, I strongly believe that they need to offer commuting contract for those people so that they can attract really nice workforce to work for their own company. Meanwhile, they can live abroad. There should be a natural flow. You shouldn't force to people live in Riyadh and work there. So if they do this, they will definitely not attract very talented workforce. What I am expecting at the same time, Riyadh Air should be able to give accommodation allowance as cash. This is really important because in Emirates or in Qatar, it's up to companies, and companies more tend to give accommodation because it's cheaper for them rather than giving you accommodation allowance. Only in Dubai you have to buy a place, and as of late 2023 it's extremely expensive to buy something in Dubai. But if Riyadh Air gives accommodation allowance as a cash to their pilot, so they have a flexibility to live wherever they want while they are in Riyadh. Maybe they want to commute, they can have a cheap hotel, they can stay in Riyadh on their off days in between the flights, and then that's how they can attract more pilots from Dubai and Qatar. Initially they can come, work and go back to their home, either in Dubai or Qatar or somewhere in Europe or somewhere else. Let's pause here, guys. If you like the content me and my team are creating, you can consider contributions or membership options through the buymeacoffee.com. I will put the links down below. You can go ahead and you can contribute for us. Your contributions will help us to create more quality content. Thank you very much. There is one thing that Riyadh Air also will be considering for sure. There are lots of low-cost pilots in Saudi Arabia. Therefore, low-cost pilots can choose to go to Riyadh Air to earn more salary. As a legacy, you are getting paid better and better work rules, better conditions, and then the low-cost carriers. So they can attract those pilots from low-cost. And in Middle East, we have lots of low-cost carriers. They will mostly go to better salary and conditions. They wouldn't care where they live. And we all know that they will have wide body, they will have narrow body. So initially it is easier to attract narrow body pilots because first, there are lots of narrow body pilots in the market. Second of all, narrow body low-cost carriers in Middle East are not great because life is expensive in Middle East, and at the same time they're not paying good as a low cost. So what I expect, they will have two pay scales for narrow body and wide body, and at the same time maybe they can pay more for sector for narrow body guys because they will be flying more. Therefore, they can create a fair system. Definitely, they are working on that most probably. If I was the manager, I would try to hire first instructors for them to write their operational policies, part A, part B, part C, and part D. Once they design the training, once they get everything ready, and then they can hire direct entry captains and first officers. And next, they start hiring cadets for their future positions, and they can send them to the US or Australia to get their pilot training. Therefore, it's going to be structured approach on this. And what I am expecting for wide body captain right now, total compensation package somewhere around $22,000 to $25,000 per month, including basic salary, including flight hours, including accommodation allowance, education allowance, and of course there will be insurance, and there will be a good profit sharing scheme. As a first officer, I'm expecting somewhere around $13,000 to $14,000, and on top of that profit sharing, and on top of that education allowance. But the most important thing, what I'm expecting them to have, accommodation allowance paid as cash, commuting contract option, so that you can attract pilots easily. For instance, if you offer this salary, you can get definitely very well experienced Turkish Airlines pilot, because Turkish Airlines are also flying all around the world. As a 737 pilot in Turkish Airlines, maybe you're flying more than 100 countries. It is really important for them to attract the pilots, and if you offer commuting contract, I would definitely come and leave Turkish Airlines if I get paid total compensation $13,000 to $14,000 in a commuting contract. I would be happy to commute Saudi Arabia to work. That's my general thinking, how much they will offer. We can expect maybe $1,000 to $2,000 less for a narrow body people, but they need to create a fair transition from narrow body to wide body. And also we need to mention that schooling allowance should be worldwide. That's also another selling point for pilots. In order to attract the pilots, I would design a system like US Airlines. So instead of putting slices, I would give them one whole salary, which is very unlikely in Middle East. I'm not expecting Riyadh Air to have this, but if they did the thing that I'm telling you right now, definitely they will attract more pilots. You can give them a one high salary, so your profit sharing, your retirement will be based on this high number, so you can accumulate in a long perspective more money than Emirates or Qatar Airways pilot like US, so that you can definitely attract pilot. If you offer them a competitive retirement, first you're promoting to a pilot to stay in your company longer, and second you're attracting these pilots to apply for your airline. So this could be definitely a selling point for pilots, but as I tell you before, I'm not expecting Riyadh Air to offer the contract that I mentioned. If Riyadh Air becomes more creative to create a different pay scale than the Middle Eastern airlines, they have a better chance to attract the pilot. But let's see. And when they release the final salaries, we can understand if I am right or if I am wrong. Maybe after that, I can record a second video for the update. But as a pilot who have worked in Middle East 3.5 years, I can take a nice snapshot of the current market condition, and I can tell you how Riyadh Air can improve the application, attract skillful pilots. Either way, I don't think that they will offer a bad contract as a current market condition, because they are not already thinking about locally, but they are also thinking to attract pilots from Asia Pacific, Europe, especially European low-cost carriers. They will target initially Qatar Airways and Emirates Airlines pilots. So they are looking for globally. They have huge money, and no doubt they will spend lots of money to make the Riyadh Air successful. I hope I'm not gonna be wrong, but let's see. That's it guys for today. I hope you like my video. Please go ahead, send your comments down below. I will read each of them. So we will discuss everything. What will they offer? I would like to hear your opinions as well. That's really important for me. Before I go, I always tell this, please don't forget to subscribe my channel, like my video, and hit the bell button to get the notifications. And also don't forget, you can share my videos with other pilots or other aviation geeks, so that I can be promoted in YouTube algorithm to go up, so I can reach more people. Thank you for watching me. See you in another video. Bye bye.